Alright, enough of the ninja smokescreen. What I'm going to talk about is fitness and martial arts. Now, I'm not trying to impress upon you that anyone can become physically fit and that I do something to make myself physically fit and blah 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 by walking on a treadmill. They're working out on weight machines or any retarded look at me I can work out to crap. What I'm talking about is simple. Fitness does play a role in martial arts. Now, I realize a lot of people don't want to hear this, don't want to realize this, don't want to talk about it. Why? Because you have these people, usually of the reality self-defense based market, who try to cater to the fact that I don't need to know or I don't need to be physically fit. Because why? I will hit you in the eyes, I will hit you in the throat, I will palm heel strike you in the chin. There's all these different things that they claim that they can do. But here's the problem. We're talking about a magic bullet. No, I'm not talking about that little machine that chops up your veggies for you. What I'm talking about is that, quite simply put, we, us, as human beings, are dependent upon our physical fitness for a lot of things. We have machinery and cars and technology and, of course, the little veggie chop-o-matic things. There's all these situations out there. In a self-defense situation, you have things brought to you like, oh, let's see, we have mace, guns, knives, any number of things. Problem is, those knives, guns, all that, none of it applies. Why? Because you don't know the type of situation you're going to be found in. If you're dealing with social violence, someone trying to use the threat of violence or violence itself to dominate you in a situation, what's going to happen is this. You pull a gun, you just escalated it to asocial or combative violence. You pull a knife, you just up the antes. People don't realize this. It's when you have a bar fight. And everyone's out here, they're brawling, they're punching, kicking, whatever. And no one's pulling a gun, no one's pulling a knife, no one's using broken beer bottles or pool cues or anything else. Problem is, a lot of times this shit does escalate into that. But, generally speaking, there's been plenty of times I've seen bar fights and no one bothered anything. In fact, the whole thing was broken up over the bartender slapping the bar with a baseball bat and getting everyone's attention and saying, get the fuck out now, the cops have been called. There is no one-trick pony. There is no simple solution to where one answer to every question. You have to realize that there are multiple situations, multiple scenarios. Not all of them involve the use of lethal force or weaponry or any sort of oddball force multiplier you need. In fact, I think the only things you can get away with using as a force multiplier that don't count as a weapon is, of course, mace. And yeah, mace. Why? Because it's not something that does damage. It burns, it stings, but you can get away from it. Problems that you're looking at is that fitness does play a role in self-defense. Now, I realize there are some people who are just unfit, who just aren't physically fit, and there are some people out there who are, well, in denial. They don't want to do a push-up, they don't want to do a sit-up, they don't want to try to lose weight. They want to sit around and get fatter. Keep popping Cheetos in their mouth and getting fatter. And here's the thing about it. I have more respect for a kid in a wheelchair who knows he can't put his legs behind his punches but will still pull his chair up and work out on a heavy bag for hours and hours and hours every day, trying to develop power, speed, and accuracy in his strikes so that he can defend himself, than I do for a person who says, oh, I'll just hit you in the groin, or I'll poke you in the eyes, or I'll hit you in the throat. Really? Can you do that under duress? Can you do that under an adrenaline dump? Can you do that with the speed and accuracy needed to actually hit those vital areas of the anatomy? It's not that simple. And in those situations where the easy solution is to run away, and running away, there's that word running. If you don't run, when you run away, you'll make it maybe 100 feet before you get winded. Maybe another 50 to 100 feet after that before you have to stop and catch your breath because your lungs are burning. Physical fitness plays a huge role in martial arts. Now, you can't tell a person they can't defend themselves simply because they're not physically fit, because that's not true. But you can tell a person that part of learning to defend yourself is becoming more physically fit. I don't know how to explain it properly, so I'll just leave it at this. Life, no matter what, will always be the same. You will always get out of it what you put into it. Yes, there will always be people who want to take things from you in the process of it. And the more you put in, the more people will want to take. But in the end, when it comes time for you to get something out of it, what you put into it is, even if it's only a fraction of what you get out of it. Think of self-defense, or better yet, think of fitness in self-defense, like a 401k. You're putting a little bit into it. Over time, it gets up and builds and builds and builds and gets better and better and better. Over time, you can't walk in and tell a person, hey, I'm going to teach you to defend yourself just by taking one 1-hour class. It doesn't work. That's a lie. It's a magic bullet. It's a way to cheat you out of your money. Now, that can work if you're a martial artist, if you're someone who's trained in a martial art and you're picking up something to fill the gap, because you already have a basis for how you've trained before and a physical fitness level from where you have trained before to make you or to make the new methods you're learning viable. But you still have to train them. You still have to work them. And the problem is, everybody wants to sell you on a magic bullet. It's cheap. It's easy. Here you go. This will save you time. It'll help you do this, help you do that. But time for what? If it saves you time in training, then it's costing you something else down the road and you don't realize it. Next time someone tells you this training method will allow you, or this technique, this set of techniques, this style, this whatever, this gadget, gizmo, gimmick, it will allow you to defend yourself nearly instantly and everything else, it doesn't happen that way. The kata dante, the short form of the kata dante, invented by John Keane in the Black Dragon Fighting Society, was a very short form. It was taught to quite a few people to teach them self-defense in a very quick, expedient manner. By learning the kata, dissecting the kata, you have a great deal of self-defense techniques. By practicing this kata within a 5 to 10 second time limit, trying to complete the kata within a 5 to 10 second time limit, that speed does decrease your accuracy. But when you're doing so with speed and power, and you're practicing all the time at this speed, and you're always practicing that control, you also build up this nervous connection within your body for your body trying to control itself. Trying to control yourself under that manner of speed also helps you to control yourself under stress, under pressure, because adrenaline doesn't disrupt your nervous system. In fact, one of the things about adrenaline is it almost acts like speed. Like natural speed. It speeds up your body. It speeds up your nerve conductivity, your breathing, your heart rate, your muscle contraction. And yeah, you do move faster, you think faster, but the problem with that is that when you move faster and you think faster, there's a lot of detail that's taken out. It's not stopping to smell the roses and examine the situation. It's this, and this is the threat, this is the problem, this is the issue, this is where tunnel vision comes in at. Physical fitness plays into this in the same role, because you have to condition yourself to be able to work under stress. You have to have that experience and that training to be able to work under stress. And even with the kata dante, practicing under those guidelines made it possible for a lot of people to learn those methods of self-defense effectively. It's not just a form you learn, it's a form you dissect, that you practice it, you study, that you see the results of the training method given to you. And yes, it does teach you self-defense, but it's not a magic bullet that just practicing this kata once or twice a day, or practicing this kata one time will teach you and you're instantly a badass, you instantly know all these fighting methods. No. But it does give you the basis to go in and dissect those techniques, dissect those methods, and to practice them over time. And it will increase your physical fitness, and it will increase your ability to deliver those strikes with speed, accuracy, and power. Because whether somebody wants to tell you the truth or not, physical fitness does play a role in self-defense.